Multiple Texas farms shut down after almost 100% of workforce vanishes overnight. In a stunningly swift overnight change, some Texas farm operations had to shut down after losing virtually all of their workforce, an exodus triggered by the increase in immigration raids and increased enforcement. The ripple effects of these raids are the gift that keeps on giving and will be felt nationwide. Unpicked crops are now left unharvested. Livestock were left untended, and rural economies are on edge. The story isn't just a tale of woe for Texas farms, it's a warning for American agribusiness, food prices, and communities that keep food on our plates. I need you to share this with every Republican you know.
Oh no, this is so sad. There are a bunch of white Texas farmers who are losing their farms right now because guess what? 100% of their workforce vanished. Wow. So all those people, who got eyes called on them, they were working on the farms. So now that they're gone, they cannot sustain the farms. You know what's crazy about this video? Because I talked about this like 2 months ago when Trump brought over all these South Afrikaners, farm people, where we find out that they were not really even farmers. And I was talking about this and found out that a few of our dear white farmers here had started losing their farms because of promises that were made to them and was not kept by this administration. So now it's trickling down to some other farmers because now their workforce, they're gone. And I was seeing somewhere where somebody came over, and it was a Caucasian man. He came over from Twitter and he was like, y'all, a lot of these farmers, white farmers, they thought that black people were going to come and work for their farms. There's a lot going on in this country right now. Us heading into possibly World War II. But this is a conversation just to kind of talk about right now. That people are kind of seeing I guess, what's the word? I can't even find the word, but the decisions that they made, they are coming back to hunt them. Let's just say that. So sorry to hear this, but yeah. So I do hope that some of these Native Americans that did lose their lands, that they do get back some of these farms that are being lost.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Actually, guys, what's happening? White farmer in Texas, they're furious because they don't have workers. Crop are rotting in the farm and they don't have workers to come and work on their farm because their farm ran away because of ice. And these people voted against their own workers, and now they're furious that they don't have workers. Even black people refuse to come to work on their farm. So guys, let's dive in. The credit belongs to the owner of the videos. I'll be back with more commentary.
I need you to share this with every Republican you know.
Oh no, this is so sad. There are a bunch of white Texas farmers who are losing their farms right now because guess what? 100% of their workforce vanished. Wow. So all those people, who got eyes called on them, they were working on the farms. So now that they're gone, they cannot sustain the farms. You know what's crazy about this video? Because I talked about this like 2 months ago when Trump brought over all these South Afrikaners, farm people, where we find out that they were not really even farmers. And I was talking about this and found out that a few of our dear white farmers here had started losing their farms because of promises that were made to them and was not kept by this administration. So now it's trickling down to some other farmers because now their workforce, they're gone. And I was seeing somewhere where somebody came over, and it was a Caucasian man. He came over from Twitter, and he was like, y'all, a lot of these farmers, white farmers, they thought that black people were going to come and work for their farms. There's a lot going on in this country right now. You know, us heading into possibly World War II. But this is a conversation just to kind of talk about right now. That people are kind of seeing I guess what's the word? I can't even find the word, but the decisions that they made, they are coming back to hunt them. Let's just say that. So sorry to hear this, but yeah. So I do hope that some of these Native Americans that did lose their lands, that they do get back some of these farms that are being lost.
This is breaking news. Texas farmers are sounding the alarm on this tariff war. And in more breaking news, nobody cares. Yeah, I don't know if it's just me or maybe it's some of you too, but as far as farmers sounding the alarm, I don't care. I have to admit, I don't care at all, because the last time Donald Trump was president, 100,000 farmers across the country lost their farms. Yeah. So overwhelmingly, farmers voted for this man again, knowing full well of his history the last time he was president. So from me to you, farmers, I don't care. I don't care how bad things get for you. I don't care if you lose your farm. I don't care if I don't care. At least I don't care to hear about it. I really don't. Because this is exactly what you voted for. And you're going to get what you voted for. You're going to get 4 more years of Donald Trump not giving a damn about farmers whatsoever.
So that's what we got for American farmers, is zero empathy. We want them to fail. That's what you're saying out there. That's what Americans are saying right now is well, you know, next time you'll vote the right way, or that's what you get for who you voted for. That, to me, I want to say it doesn't sound very American of people, but here lately, that's all we're doing is complaining.
Okay, this is for MAGA supporting farmers, which is the most of them, the majority of them. This is not what's happening. If you pay attention to all your right-wing media, including Fox News, we on the left have been showing you empathy by trying to scream, this is happening. This is going to happen to farmers. We did it before you elected him, and we've been doing it after he was elected. I can't tell you how many videos I personally made after you elected Trump, where you are being destroyed. That's what empathy is. And it's not a lack of empathy when we just want to stay out of the way of letting the consequences of your actions take root. You're asking us as taxpayers to bail you out. We were bailing you out through USAID and so many other Democratic funded programs. And we were happy to do that. We want those back. I don't see one MAGA supporter demanding that USAID be funded again, because that's what kept a lot of you guys afloat. We on the left have been screaming for that. But if you want to talk about a lack of empathy, it's not going over our heads that you had no empathy whatsoever for our LGBTQ community and what was going to happen to them if you won your election. You had no empathy for transgender people, and those include kids with families who love themselves, each other, families, tight families, going through a hardship like you guys are as farmers. You didn't show empathy for them. You didn't show empathy for women who are being pushed now into this purity culture and this Charlie Kirk warped vision of making us just baby making machines. You showed no empathy for brown-skinned people trying to earn a living, being thrown to the ground and beat up and kept in for-profit prisons that are benefiting Republican donors. You showed no empathy for any of them. But you're going to come on here in your high fucking horse and tell us we're the ones that don't show empathy. I want you to show one right-wing news source or content creators, Charlie Kirk, any of them, that have been talking the way we have about how farmers are being impacted by the Trump administration. Find one, and I will stand corrected. You're going to find nothing but those of us, the libtards.
Guys, actually, these farmers are getting what they voted for. They voted for this. Actually, they voted against their workers who work for them, right? For many years, who did a hard job, and now they voted against them because their hatred, racism, I don't even understand. Because some of them, they're pretending, oh, we thought he's going to deport only criminal. Oh, you guys, seriously? You thought that? You knew. But they lied to you. You believe that for some reason, Black people is coming to work on their farm. I don't know how and why you believe that, unless you have a problem. That's when you can believe that, because nowadays we see how Black America, they're so successful. They know like better. They're not coming back to work on that field. Of course, they are not coming. And they did many videos saying like, you guys, you are dreaming, keep dreaming. That's why you are losing your farm, because you trusted something that will never happen. That will never happen. Oh, guys, let's keep watching.
What is going on with the farming industry in Texas? In the last 12 months, there's been 4 major incidences alone that have caused serious hardship for the farming industry in Texas, and I put together a little timeline so we can take a look at this. This time last year in April of 2023, over 18,000 cows were killed from a dairy farm explosion in Dimmitt, Texas. In January of this year, a large explosion with a significant fire erupted at Feathercrest Farm chicken plant in Bryan, Texas. Just a couple months ago, in February of 2024, Smokehouse Creek Fire, the largest wildfire to ever burn across Texas, spreading across nearly 1.1 million acres, destroyed tons of farming. And just last month, in March of 2024, the largest U.S. fresh egg producer halts production at Texas plant after the bird flu was found in chickens. About 1.6 million laying hens and 333,000 pullets were culled. This doesn't even mention some of the very weird incidences that have happened with cows and poultry in Texas going back to 2020. But as always, let me know what you think about all of this down below.
Next up on the FAFO tour, Texas farmers. One day, these farms in Texas had hundreds of workers tending the fields and the livestock, and the very next day, all of those workers are gone. That's what has happened in Texas. And entire fields of crops are being left to rot because there's no one to pick them. Livestock, like dairy cows, that have to be milked twice a day when they're lactating, there's no one to tend to them. These farms are going to go under. And it's not going to just affect Texas farmers. This is going to affect the breadbasket of the nation very soon. Most of these farmers voted for the felon in chief. And now they are reaping what they have sown, quite literally. Is America great yet? And all of these red-faced conservative MAGA folk who have complained for years about these illegal immigrants are taking our jobs. It's funny, they're not lining up to go work out in these fields for that low pay out in the hot sun. And what's unspoken is many of these farmers and many of these racists, felt that we black Americans were going to rush out there because they have come to believe their own racist stereotypes and lies about black people. And they did. They thought we were going to line up to go work in those fields. Ha ha, tricks are for kids. Our ancestors already been there and done that, and they were not paid at all. They were forced to work in fields, whipped and tortured. This is a new day. And so I suggest everyone who has ever complained about illegal immigrants taking our jobs, you get you some 100 SPF sunscreen and get your ass out there in the fields if you want produce, period, in your grocery stores. And think about this. This is going to have a ripple effect. Think about all the businesses that are vendors and customers of these farms. There's no one to buy fertilizer, farm implements, pesticides. Many restaurants that are farm to table, where they're going to get their meat and their produce. Racism is expensive, and it is going to be the ruin of this nation. It's already playing out. So again, I ask, MAGA, are we great again yet? And when are y'all gonna go out to Texas and all these other areas that need work and start working the fields, since you're a patriotic American? I'm waiting to see when that's going to happen, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Next up on the FAFO tour, Texas farmers. One day, these farms in Texas had hundreds of workers tending.
It's Joe from Georgia. So this is news out of Texas. But folks, these are alarm bells ringing for the entire United States. And our government is not listening. Overnight, multiple farms in the state of Texas completely shut down. And the reason for this shutdown was because they have lost almost 100% of their workforce. Now, we know this is the result of the immigration raids and stricter enforcement, but the ripple effect is going to be felt all the way across this country. Now, you've got crops that are rotting in the fields. You have livestock that is not being attended to at all, and that takes a lot of personnel. And we're talking, so now we're getting every area of food to include meat. And the communities that surround these farms, those businesses and those people who depend on the income from these farms, it's creating disasters for small communities in Texas. Now, this is not stopping at Texas farms. This is going to end up all the way across America, especially in the breadbasket, the middle of the nation, because they have tons of immigrant help. But folks, the alarm bells are ringing. Your food on your plate is being affected. So you got to think about it. It won't be soon until either prices go ridiculously high or you just won't have any food to buy.
As actually, this Texas farmer, they are getting what they voted for, and I understand. Like you guys, you were so desperate to get black people to work on their farm, but they are not coming. So it's better you tell your mother, your family member, to go out and pick those crops that are rotting in a farm, because you guys, you voted against your own workers. You didn't appreciate the work they did on their farm, the many years they work on their farm. So now this is the consequences of your decision. Every election have consequences. This is one of them, because you guys, you're willing to let other people suffer. But what's shocking you, you are suffering even more. That's why you're pissed. That's why you're sad. Of course, you don't like it, but this is happening right now, right this minute. And forget about getting black people to work on their farm. He lied to you. He manipulated you because he wanted your vote. He wanted to use you, and now he doesn't even care that you guys, you're suffering. He doesn't care that you guys, you don't have workers. He doesn't even care, like, he doesn't care about any of you guys. as people warned you, as people told you many times, be careful. This guy doesn't care about us. He's not going to help us in any ways. But you guys, you went ahead and voted for him anyways. So guys, this is one of a FAFO season. I don't know what you think. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and share. I'll see you next one as always. Bye.